All right, so we just finished watching A Quiet Place Day One. Initial thoughts?
Pretty good. For a prequel, it's a good movie. I liked it. It was good. Yeah. It was heartfelt. It was even more heartfelt than the first two.
For me, it was okay. I think I like it a bit less than other people will. The guy's name, what's his name?
Joseph Quinn, Lupita Nyong'o. I mean, and Joseph Quinn. He's not a newcomer, but he was in Stranger Things. He did really well. He's going to be in Fantastic Four. He's going to be the Human Torch.
You think his acting was good?
Yeah. He cried really well. He cried a lot.
A lot of crying.
Yeah.
A lot of crying.
This is non-spoiler.
That's not much of a spoiler.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're gonna... I will say that it started off strong.
Yeah.
I actually think the intro in itself was almost just as enjoyable as the first two movies as a whole. I was expecting that intensity to be maintained a little bit more than it was. It was there in some moments. There enough for my ass to clench and hold my breath in moments that they needed to. I was into it. It was good. There's something it'll come to me.
Yeah.
It'll come to me as we're discussing this.
Yeah. The positives for me, the character development was done really well. I felt like they gave the characters that they did have, they did have arcs. And I liked it. I liked the fact that, you did actually care about the characters and, you kind of rooted for them to get to whatever their goals was or whatever they were trying to do. So yeah, I thought it was really well directed. It was shot beautifully.
Cinematography was good.
Yeah, it was really good. Lupita Nyong'o, I mean, she's so good. Like it made the movie actually better having her in it,
It did, to the point to where I feel like she's not even on the level of this script.
Yeah, it's scripted. She's
just on a different level.
Yeah.
Thinking about someone's performance and seeing how intense she was and seeing her. Is this her first horror movie?
No, she was in Us.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even put two and two together. I didn't even think about that.
No,
but she was the evil but
she was both.
Sister. Yeah,
she had to play both parts. She's amazing. So no, this was a walk in the park for her. She had to be more dynamic. She had to play two roles. So you didn't really like what's his name?
I think it might not be his acting. It might be his character that's in the movie. I just wasn't a fan of his who he is. But I mean, it is realistic. It is grounded. Yeah. He played the character he was supposed to play very well. It just annoyed me, his character.
Yeah.
In certain situations, I'm like, okay, no, you need to chill out.
Yeah.
And the way she had things under control more than him,
yeah,
I guess that must be why I'm thinking she's still in this show.
I did like the fact that, instead of the man being the strong one, the woman was sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You never know what someone's going to do until it pops off. You know what I mean?
Right,
you
right.
might think one of your friends, man, I didn't think he was like that, until something happens and everything the bottom falls out. Then you start to really see how people are,
Yeah, the bottom falls. Yeah. When stuff hits the fan.
When it hits the fan, then you find out who's who, and what who you can depend on.
We're trying our best right now not to get into spoiler territory.
Yet.
Yeah.
So the cons of the movie, for me, there was something in there. I don't want to spoil it, but it was just kind of throwing me off. And normally that kind of thing I would root, it wouldn't bother me. But for some reason in this movie, a particular thing bothered me, and it was there all the time. And I was sucking my teeth every time it showed up. So that for me, the writer, when the writer wrote that, it just kind of took me out of certain scenes. And I get it, it's cute or whatever, but it's not. Did I have any other cons? Like you were saying,
I'm gonna have to agree with what you're talking about. By the way,
you do?
It's ultimately I was annoyed. We're pretty much eye to eye on how annoying that was. But we'll get to that a little deeper in the spoiler section.
Other than that, what you were saying about the draw, like after the intensity, then it had to settle. The movie had to settle, and then that's when the characters started developing, and it did slow down there for a bit.
It got dark. It got psychologically dark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did.
And that's more what, I mean, you think about it, these people are following, like, you're like, damn, their lives are pretty tragic.
Yeah, it was.
And even like they're talking about their backstories and stuff.
Yeah.
So you were just kind of like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. And I like movies like that where, you know, they're in New York City, but the focus is on just these two people. I mean, you could tell a million stories that happen in that one, you know what I mean? You could make like 100 movies just off of that day. There was other characters who you could have told it from their point of view too. So, I mean, you always think about stuff like that. But I liked what they did.
I do have another con.
Okay.
I'm not sure if this answered any lingering questions about these aliens. In order to make a prequel, you're going to provide more information about the first two movies. If anything, it probably left more questions than answers for people who really want some origin stories of these aliens.
They made a good movie. They did a good job. I think they did their job. Yeah.
Yeah, job was done, I guess. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know what else I was expecting. It actually had me, it had my attention from the intro, and it just never really brought that momentum back. There was more instances where it real intense moments, but man, that intro was strong. It came out swinging, for sure. If you're a fan of the first two, I recommend probably watching this one in the movie theaters. This is on par with the other two, if not better.
You have to watch it. You know, you have to watch this. I mean, if you watch Saw 10, you have to watch this.
We're going to go with stars today. So out of 5 stars, I'm going to give it a solid 3, man.
I was thinking the same thing. I'll give it a solid 3. You know, I want to give it more, but I'd say a solid 3. Solid 3.
Yeah, I feel like solid 3 is where this belongs. I'm not a super fan of the series. I don't know if you are.
I enjoyed the first 2. It was hyped up, and when I seen it, I was kind of like, eh. But when I seen part 2, which had great actors in it, that's one thing about this series. They have really good actors. When I saw part 2, I appreciated part 1 more.
Do we need to watch the other 2 to watch this one first? What order would you go in?
I would watch this one first. I mean, if let's say you've never seen them before, it wouldn't bother you to watch it in any order, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Right. It wasn't like you were getting information from the third one that you need to go forward. Yeah. So, you know, watching them in any order, actually, I wouldn't start at 2. You know, you could start at 3 or 1. I think that would be a good, yeah.
But if you've seen none of them, I'd say start with this one. We're heading into spoiler territory. If you don't want to have any spoilers coming into this movie, then stop playing this video now.
Bye.
The first thing I have to address is the cat. This cat was, let me think of the word. You can chime in.
I mean, normally I like animals in movies and you root for them to go, no, not the dog. Don't get the dog. Don't get the cat. But this cat was annoying and just everywhere. I mean, the part where I just threw my hands up in the air was when he was in the pharmacy and the dang cat left her to go follow him to the pharmacy to help him evade I don't know what the cat was doing. It was just everywhere.
But the cat eventually put him in danger.
Oh yeah.
After following him.
I mean, the cat put him in danger at the beginning of the movie when
the intro in the movie theater. The cat was it was clawing at the door, right where the things were on the other side, and you know it was her choice to try to save the cat.
Yeah.
But that whole thing, like, dude, if you're going through something like that in real life, are you gonna really try to save your cat? I mean, I guess certain people will, but
they be dead. Okay, you be dead. All right, you know, come on. It's not a movie. It's real life.
This would have been a very short movie.
Yeah, because I would have took my dog and threw him on the ground just to get away. The thing is, pick him up. I wouldn't. Yeah, sorry. You know, it is what it is.
Again, we are animal lovers. He's got 3 dogs, so
yeah.
It's just, but
when the doo-doo hits the fan, it's me or the dog. You know, so it got irritating, and the cat was everywhere, and you know, everybody's risking their life for the cat who's all over the place. Like, bye, cat. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm still thinking of the word, but
Obnoxious. What was the writer thinking of? Like, that's the kind of stuff like, oh, if I just write the cat here, then the cat can come back and then the cat can run. Like, dude, who cares about the cat, right?
it was the immersion breaking. The immersion was gone in certain scenarios. For the most part, people were making good decisions. You know, horror movies it's well known for people making dumb decisions. For the most part, people were making really good decisions up to the point to where it involved this cat. And it got unrealistic at that point.
Yeah.
I don't see anyone actually doing what they did in this movie to save that cat.
I mean, I've never really owned a cat, so I mean, but there's parts where she's like, "Come here, kitty." The cat would come. I mean, maybe they do. I don't know, but the cats that I know, they scratch their owners. They, you know what I mean? They don't listen. You know, so I don't know. This cat was very, but like you were saying, it might be a service cat.
The cat seemed to be pretty smart. I'll give it that for most of the movie.
Yeah.
It seems to be okay with water. They were diving and underwater for a whole minute at one point, where one of these things was trying to chase the survivors so bad that it went underwater with them and it drowned pretty quick. And when they came out of water, we were questioning whether the cat was alive anymore, because they have the cat in this bag and they were underwater running away from this thing. And then they have a shot of the cat just wet and just wringing himself out and just going up like it ain't no one's business. Like the cat is unaffected by the water. So I'm thinking, okay, that must be a service cat.
Yeah. Enough about the damn cat.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of that cat, dude. But there was other things that were pretty cool that they wrote in. Like there were some kids that were in a water fountain. You know, the monsters couldn't hear them because of the waterfall. So they were hiding in there. That was pretty cool, the way they wrote that in. Then there was one thing where, you know, the helicopters are flying by. They're like, hey, everybody get to the water. We're going to bring a boat over and get you guys off the island. I think they're in Manhattan. And they're all walking. They're all walking. It was like hundreds of them walking down like one of the main streets, like Broadway or something. They're walking towards the pier. Or I don't know the demographic, but I'm just saying, like they had to know that someone was going to fart. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they're all piled up together. So that was a bad move.
That was a bad look. I mean, were they all aware at that point that, because they seemed to have figured it out very fast that they just needed to be quiet.
Yeah. They did figure that out real fast somehow. I think it's just common sense when they're like, okay, you know, but they figured it out pretty quick that they just needed to be quiet. But there was no one really there to tell them except for then the plane started flying over, like, you know, helicopters. The military was telling them, hey, you know, and it's funny because every time the helicopters flew over, the aliens were like ripping up the city, following the helicopter. So that was pretty cool. I thought that was cool. You know what I never thought about while watching this movie? You know, while watching the first two movies, like if you're a snorer, like you're going to sleep. You're going to be dead, dude. You're dead. Like my wife, gone. She'd be gone. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even sleep in the same house with her. If this thing happened, I'd be like, baby, you're going to die. You're going to die.
If you are a snorer, you don't.
You're done.
The only people surviving are the antisocial.
Yeah.
Really, the people who don't talk to nobody, they don't make noise. Those are people who lived through the beginning. I mean, they were falling like asteroids from out of the sky.
Yeah.
Like nothing was really explained. We just saw the beginning. We just saw day one. And again, just like the other two, absolutely nothing. Like we have no idea what these things are. The only reason I am calling them aliens is because we were watching it in subtitles and it says alien rattling. It's telling us they're aliens. Other than that, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have known what the heck these things are.
I read it on IMDb. It said aliens, blah, blah, whatever. So I said, okay, I guess. I mean, what else would they be, right?
Demons of some sort.
Yeah, that they could be demons. The good about the movie, spoiler-wise, once again, the acting. the storytelling. Some of the things they did to get away from the aliens. Definitely not the cat. Yeah, I like the movie. I like the directing. I like that they had to get off the boat. I mean, to get onto the boat, which was cool. I don't know. What are your good?
And you know, the woman, she had cancer. All hope was lost anyway, and her whole thing in this movie was she just wanted some pizza. There's not much more you could have done in this kind of movie. So what was there, it was really good.
Yeah. You know, her having stage 4 cancer, I thought that was a neat. She knew she was gonna die.
Like we all knew.
The movie started, she was in hospice. So she was on her way out and she knew it. And I think that's why she was braver than the guy too. Was because
nothing to lose.
Yeah, she didn't have nothing to she didn't want to die, but at the same time she was like, okay, I'm in this situation. I'm going to die soon anyway. So, you know what? I just want to get some pizza. Especially with the acting is done really well. It was sad. Yeah. Like the crowd was all walking to the water, like hundreds of people. And she was walking against them, going to go into town to go get this slice of pizza that she didn't even know if it was there. And then she runs into the other character, Quinn. And he's this guy from the UK who's just like, eyes all watery, like he just came into law school or something. Like he didn't know anyone.
Yeah, he flew in, so he wasn't even from there. So it was just him. Or was his parents the one that flew away? His
parents were like overseas or something.
Yeah, all that was mentioned was that his parents weren't around. So
yeah,
he had no one.
He had no one in New York, and he had just came to be a lawyer. So he sees this girl, and it's strange that I guess he was just scared because he was by himself. So he just seen her. She was the only one going, the wrong way. But they had already left the crowd of people. So he just decided he didn't want to be alone. So he followed her, and he just wanted to be, with someone. Yeah. And she seemed brave, so he just stayed with her.
The cat was the one that found him. And brought him to her.
Yeah.
And after that, it seemed like I could tell him and the cat connected in a certain way.
Yeah.
And he felt it, and then started following her, and he felt like that's where he belonged. You could tell.
Yeah.
So he played his part pretty well as well. Now that I'm talking about it.
Yeah. And I've never seen a cat act so well either. I mean, that
was impressive. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not that I can think of.
No CGI.
No. Yeah.
Interesting.
So we gave the cat some props, but
I'm giving it 3 stars out of 5, just for the simple fact that it's not my cup of tea personally, but I did appreciate what was there, and it was well executed with the material that was there.
Yeah, my final thoughts are, this is just as good as the other two, if not better. I mean, it just depends on, because other ones they were out and wherever, in the sticks, but this one was in the city. It's when it first happened. There's that excitement of what's going on. Great acting, which the other two did have also. But I think if you've seen the first two, you got to see this one. It's for me, it's a solid 3 stars. I enjoyed it. Would I watch it again? Yeah. I mean, it's got some watchability.
I wouldn't watch it again. It's a one and done for me. Yeah. I've bought a lot of movies that I'll probably never watch again, but that's okay.
Yeah. And like I said, I won't be like, I'm going to watch A Quiet Place Day 1, but if, let's say my wife comes home and she's like, hey, she wants to watch it, which she probably wouldn't, then I would sit and watch it with her. But yeah. That about wraps it up. 3 stars.
3 stars.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. See ya.
Deuces.